I love a good quote. I feel it has the power to completely change my mood, shift my outlook, and my entire day. They are so unique to everyone and every situation. A quote can impact you completely differently depending on your mood, stage of life, relationships, or any other factor really. And while I now have a solid collection of quotes that have really impacted, inspired, and provoked some serious deep thinking, there are a few staples that I have carried around for years and that have been foundational in creating the person I am today. The 3 quotes I want to share with you today have greatly shaped and influenced the past few years of my life and the person you see before you today. But they've really been resonating with me recently, and I've been thinking more and more deeply about them because of the current struggles that I'm going through and just the stage of life that I'm at. So if I were to make this video in, say, a year's time, I may not be sharing the same quotes with you because they may not be resonating as strongly with me then as they are currently. But regardless, these quotes are something that I've been living by for so long, and they are really helping me with where I'm at right now. So I hope that you can take something away from this video. I hope that you like these quotes, and overall, I hope you enjoy this video. The first quote I want to share with you today is a beautiful, beautiful quote by Anais Nin. And the day came where the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. I absolutely love this quote. I think it beautifully acknowledges just how difficult change can be, but it also conveys how vital it is. And that's something that I really need to hear. I am notoriously terrible at dealing with change, thinking about change, anything to do with change. And in my life currently, I have some big changes coming up. In the past, when dealing with change, I have really remained tight in that bud, holding on to any semblance of normalcy that I can until that just hurts too much. I can't do it anymore and I have to release. And as scary as that can be, it actually is less painful than just gripping onto dear life just for things to stay the same. But overall, this quote really resonates with me because it has been foundational in some serious life-changing decisions in the past, and I know in my very near future it will be paramount. The second quote I want to share with you today is this: "How lucky am I to love so deeply that to lose hurts so much." There are many different versions of this quote, and I couldn't actually find the author of this exact phrasing, but this is the wording that I say to myself. This may seem like a pessimistic approach, but to me, this quote really reminds me to be grateful, to not take anything for granted, and to appreciate what I have. Like any quote, this one can apply to so many different scenarios and can relate to many people in a variety of ways. But I often think of this when an unfortunate event occurs, like a loss of life or something else in that area. And this quote reminds me of another quote, which I'm going to paraphrase and probably butcher, but anyway. "When you open your heart up to love, you open it up to pain. Because if your heart is open, it's open for all. You can't close it off to certain areas." And love is the most incredible thing in the world, which makes loss one of the hardest. But even though this is a sadder quote, and you may think of it in sadder times, it still manages to bring a smile to my face because I feel really, really grateful. I really am so lucky that I had the opportunity to experience love this great that it hurts this much to lose. Not everyone experiences great love, and love in different areas. Romantic, friendship, to pets, to yourself, to a place, to a time. So if we do and we happen to lose it, this quote reminds me that we were so lucky to have it in the first place and to therefore be grateful for it. And it also reminds me to think of all the good that came from it. Just because we no longer have it doesn't mean it never happened, so we should really reminisce on those beautiful times. The final quote I want to share with you today is by Manib Ali. When I'm old, how much would I be willing to pay to travel back in time and relive the moment I'm experiencing right now? This quote always smacks me in the face, and that's why I love it. It's a serious, no bullshit reality. There are so many factors of my life that I simply take for granted, even though I know I won't be this lucky forever. I can walk up the stairs without getting tired. I can jump on a trampoline and it's really, really fun. I can hold hands with my boyfriend. I can see my family every day. I'm able to read a number of books a year. I'm able to talk by myself. I can feed myself. The list goes on. But I just go about my day-to-day life and just simply take those things for granted. In fact, if I've gone hard at a workout and I'm sore the next day, or maybe I've been chewing and have bitten the inside of my mouth or something, I'm really annoyed when I can't chew my food properly, or I struggle to kind of get out of bed because my muscles are sore. But this simple question gets you to immediately stop and rethink everything. How much would you spend to be able to spend 10 minutes with a person that you've lost in the past? Or to be as fit as you were when you were younger? Or to be able to eat a food that you're now intolerant to? You'd probably pay all the money that you have and more. Well, take that a step further. Look onto your deathbed almost and think, when you're on your deathbed, how much would you pay to be back right in this moment, right now? It would probably be the same answer. You'd probably pay everything you could to just be back and experience this moment. And we should be thinking like that all the time. We shouldn't be taking these things for granted. This quote never fails to fill me with so much gratitude and just optimism as well, that I've been lucky enough to realize this at this stage of my life. I can still appreciate so much that I do have and can try to endeavor to not always take it for granted. And this quote also reminds me of the bigger picture and how small the problems that I'm facing right now really are. I'm probably not going to remember any of the things that I've been annoyed about in the past week, month, or year close to my deathbed. I'm just going to be thinking about all the amazing times, and I think honestly we should be thinking that way now regardless. Yes, we all have problems, and sometimes they'll be smaller and sometimes they'll be much larger. But let's try not to let them bog us down. Every day is a new opportunity to choose to be positive and to choose to approach the day with a positive outlook. And the thing is, we might not even be lucky enough to reach that deathbed age. And even if we do, we still might not think we've had enough time on this earth. So that's why I just think it's so paramount that we continue to try to really be grateful for as much as we can be and just squeeze as much enjoyment out of life as we can. Okay, so that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video and insight into me and my soul and the foundational quotes that really, really do help me on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. If you have quotes that have had a similar impact on you, or just something that you are loving right now, I would love to read them. If you haven't gathered, I really love quotes, so please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I upload new videos every Thursday and I really, really cannot wait to see you on the next one. If you'd like to see more of me, then feel free to follow me on Instagram at Lauren__hog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you. Bye.